welcome to our first BrosKnow's Countdown.
Yeah.
In this case, it is Star Trek 50th anniversary. It's our rated the worst to best. So we're going to count down the 13 Star Trek movies in celebration of their 50th anniversary.
Absolutely. Is it wrong that I'm wearing my Darth Vader t-shirt?
Well, I've got a Face of Bo t-shirt from Doctor Who, so... we're all friends of the Federation here, okay? Okay, let's start off with our...
Who's first?
You go first, I think. You go first since you're the quiz champion. Okay, so you can go first because it is...
Definitely starting with the worst. Star Trek, The Final Frontier.
On a desolate planet, a renegade Vulcan seeks ultimate knowledge.
To find it, we'll need a starship.
And he will stop at nothing to get it.
I dreamt that a madman had taken over the Enterprise.
You look like you've just seen a ghost.
Perhaps I have, Captain. Our destination is the planet Shakari, Eden, at the center of the galaxy.
The center of the galaxy can't be reached.
If you ask me, and you haven't, I think this is a terrible idea. We're bound to bump into the Klingon.
Oh my God.
That's exactly right.
Piece of shit.
That William Shatner.
Yeah, directed by William. I was supposed to look up, there's a name of the dance that Horror does it in there, but I can't remember what it is. It's like Dance of the Moon or some rubbish, like, you know. It's just a horrible movie. I was talking about the other day, there's only one good line in that, is when they meet this godlike figure.
This god.
Yeah, and he goes, bring me your ship and I will go and give the word to the world or whatever it is, to the galaxy. And he goes, excuse me, what does God need with a starship? That's very good.
Unfortunately, I didn't really enjoy the premise. Everything in it was just a bit dumb. It was not enjoyable. I did actually see this at the movies because I do enjoy watching the Star Trek movies, but yeah, I probably thought, what a waste of money that was.
Yeah. I mean, all the Star Trek movies, whether I like them or not, I probably watch them fairly regularly, but that one I do not watch. Yeah. Anyway, that's enough of that piece of rubbish.
Right, okay, a little bit better was our number 12, Star Trek Insurrection.
It is human nature to wonder what it would be like to never grow old, to experience utter peace and harmony. And it is also human nature for some of us to want what we do not have.
Alert! Area 12.
He's trying to remove the headpiece.
Do not delay the countdown.
And for others, to stand in their way.
Now, I said to Gavin before, this probably would not make a memorable Star Trek TV episode. It was that bad. I mean, they had an interesting start, but it just meandered on. You know, this is another William Frakes directed movie.
Yeah.
And the movie he did before this was pretty good. He did a good job of it. Mm-hmm. But then when he did this movie, I think that the script was lacking. I don't know whether it was his direction. But yeah, there's just not enough happening in this movie for it to be interesting. The bad guys aren't compelling enough.
Yeah. The
story is just not as interesting. As I say, TV episode, probably not even that memorable either.
Yeah, it would have been a reasonable one, but not certainly in your top 10.
No, because I know there's some pretty good Star Trek TV episodes out there.
Mm-hmm.
Right, number 11.
Star Trek Generations.
And a mysterious ribbon of energy where past and future collide is unleashed.
It's a doorway that we call the Nexus.
Every ship which has approached the ribbon has either been destroyed or severely damaged.
Obviously, they were looking for something.
There's still no indication of why they attacked the station.
I must return to the observatory immediately.
There's nothing I can do.
Timing is very important in my experiment.
The hell's he doing?
I have an appointment with eternity, and I don't want to be late.
Zorn doesn't care about weapons or power. He just cares about getting back to the Nexus.
The star is going to collapse in a matter of minutes.
That'll destroy everything in this system.
Population.
230 million, sir.
Why would he destroy a star? I have to stop him. But I can't do this alone. I need help.
I know someone who can.
You say history considers me dead. Who am I to argue with history?
You're a Starfleet officer. You have a duty.
I don't need to be lectured by you. I was out saving the galaxy when your grandfather was in diapers.
Now, the torch of adventure is about to be passed.
Eliminate them.
This was more disappointing than anything else. It was an opportunity to do something really cool, having the two most iconic Enterprise captains in there with Kirk and Picard.
Yeah.
And this is just, I didn't really care. The death scene with Kirk was just rubbish.
Yeah,
Data was annoying.
Kirk needs to die in a blaze of glory, not like that.
Yeah.
This was
I mean, his death at the start of it, where he goes into the Nexus, right?
And he sacrifices himself.
That was more spectacular than the end one. It was like, really?
I mean, it
should've
started
stayed
off
in the
well, but then it was disappointing.
Yeah.
Disappointing?
Yeah, it was disappointing. Yeah. Big fan of Star Trek: The Next Generation, and for that to come along, especially with the moulding of both crews, I was just like, what a waste of time.
Yeah.
Anyway, moving on. God.
Unfortunate there. Could have been great, but unfortunate.
Yeah.
Right, our number 10, Star Trek Into Darkness.
You think you can't make mistakes? But the choices you make could get yourself and everyone under your command killed. But I believe in you, Jim.
Darkness is coming.
This could just be the beginning.
Beginning of what?
All-out war. I request permission to go after him.
I cannot allow you to do this.
Jim, you're not actually going after this guy, are you?
Let's go get this son of a bitch.
You are a pawn, Kirk.
Sir, there's a ship heading right for us.
You can't even guarantee the safety of your own crew. Now, shall we begin?
Now, when I first saw this movie, I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. It's got
so
Benedict Cumberbatch. He's a pretty good bad guy. I know that he plays Khan, and I don't think anyone can play Khan better than Ricardo Montalban.
Yeah.
But I enjoyed it. But then later on, I heard the nerds calling, and the nerds are right.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, the science, it just gets in the way of the movie. There's too much stuff that happens in this that you're just going to regret it later on. You don't have to worry about death because you have Khan's super blood.
Yeah, that's right.
You know, you die, it doesn't matter, just bring yourself back to life. Of course, and because you can teleport yourself across the galaxy, there was a sneak peek of this in the original Star Trek reboot, and then then he manages to teleport himself across the galaxy onto the Klingon homeworld. That's a long way away. That's some serious distance. So why do they need starships now when they can teleport themselves around the galaxy? Apparently. So I mean, when they came up with these cool, neat science tricks, they basically destroyed the idea of the Federation, and they took away any chance of there being, a chance that people will die because, they can just bring them back to life.
Yeah.
So that was not great. Not a great idea.
Yeah, it sort of established it as a thing. That was the problem. I mean, Star Trek does that all the time. Is that, the lithium crystals have run out of energy and we're stuck here. And we go and they say, And then Spock goes, well, if we do this and re-energize the 003 crystals, then we're... Which, that was impossible last week. No, about 3 weeks ago. So, you know, but, but it kind of made it, no, this is an actual real thing now. It went too far.
Yeah.
And as I said, as you said, I enjoyed it, but it was
made. Well, once you
badly
start
told.
thinking, once you start thinking, then it's not good.
Is that me?
Yes, it is.
Cool. Star Trek Nemesis.
Our eyes reflect our lives, don't they? I can see as well as you can. I can feel everything you feel. In fact, I can feel exactly what you feel.
He said he's a mirror for me. I need to know where the hell he came from.
The same blood runs through our veins.
It was as if part of me had been stolen.
I can feel your hunger.
I must deactivate you. Why? Because you are dangerous.
Look in the mirror. See yourself.
I'm a mirror for you as well.
Don't be so vain.
Now, this is the last of the Next Generation cruise movies. I actually didn't mind this. This had Tom Hardy in it, who was the clone of Picard. I actually didn't mind it, and I know a lot of people hated on this movie, but it was okay. I thought it was a fun final movie.
I gotta agree. I mean, this is known as the franchise killer.
Yeah.
Because after this, there were no Star Trek movies for some odd 7 years.
Yeah.
So, but once again, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed Tom Hardy's performance. He was a relatively young actor then.
Yeah. I'm not so sure that this is the movie that killed it. It was because of this movie. I think people were just getting tired.
Yeah. I mean, Star Trek had been going since the late 1980s, 89.
89, I think it was Generations.
Next Generation started.
And I mean, if you count the movies since 79 was when first
79 was when the first Star Trek movie came out. Yeah.
So it was pretty much, a good feed of Star Trek throughout that time.
But it was just because they were pumping out Star Trek movies every 2 years there for a while. That's a lot of Star Trek. Yeah, so unfortunate that, but like you say, I think a bit better. A bit better than what it's given credit for. Right, my movie is the number 8, the Star Trek movie, the one that started it all off.
Travel forward with us, 300 years into the future, to confront the greatest mystery ever to threaten mankind. We are aboard a huge starship called the Enterprise. This is the return of Captain Kirk.
An alien object of unbelievable destructive power is less than 3 days away from this planet.
Mr. Spock.
I offer my services as science officer.
Dr. McCoy. Scotty. And joining them on their mission, Commander Will Decker and Navigator Ilea.
Unfortunately, for me, there was just too much special effects in it. It was just all dazzling, flashy bits. It lacked a lot of substance. And then in some parts it was just too scientific. It was long and it was boring. As I say, I like my science fiction, but this one I struggled to watch. It was just a long movie. It just dragged me through the whole frickin' thing.
Yeah.
If I remember right, it's a pretty long movie as well. So, not a great introduction to the Star Trek cinematic universe. Believe me, it got better after that, though. A lot better. So, Star Trek.
I like this movie, and I had to argue to get it where it is, quite frankly. But yeah, I actually like it, and I quite like science fiction movies.
Yeah.
You know, I don't mind that.
I think this one kind of reminds me a bit of 2001. It's a lot of
Exactly, yeah, and I'm into those kind of things. So this is actually one of my favourites in terms of the original. I don't know, I just really liked it.
There's
a
list between both of us, so I compromise, Gavin compromised. Yeah. So this is where it ended up.
I can't argue with any of the issues people have with it, though. Yeah. But as a personal thing, I've always liked it.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, by the way, they should have learned from this movie, cloud bad guys never works.
Cloud bad guys.
All right. So, number 7, Search for Spock, Star Trek 3.
All that they've loved, all that they've fought for, all that they've stood for will now be put to the test. Star Trek 3, The Search for Spock.
The word, sir? The word is no. I am therefore going anyway.
You do this, you'll never sit in the captain's chair again.
Engage auto systems. Clear all moorings.
Cleared, sir.
1/4 impulse power.
Someone is stealing the Enterprise.
Warp speed.
Again, these are getting into the much better movies, as usual. And from this is probably where it is because the ones after it are just a bit better.
They are. Yeah. The ones that come after this are better, and it's going to be hard to actually put this any higher.
Yeah.
This is the first movie directed by Leonard Nimoy.
Yeah, absolutely, and of course he wasn't going to come back. He was sort of finished with it, and then
spoilers. Spoilers. He was finished.
Oh, come on! What is it, like 20 years old? You don't know too bad. So they wooed him back with him to direct it, and that's why he came back. I think you talked about it took away. They killed him, and it took away from that gravitas of his death, the sacrifice he made, and all of a sudden, oh no, he's back again. But then that's science fiction, so
That is, so I didn't mind this particular science fiction. The way they brought him back to life was much better, I think, than the way they brought Captain Kirk back to life. And
absolutely,
super plot.
At least they waited a movie. It was like I think they had you had an interval. You went to get some popcorn and it was live when you got back.
And then don't blink because he's actually alive now. So all that. Yeah. Okay. So
that's Search for Spock. Yeah.
Search for Spock. Oh, destruction of the Enterprise.
Oh yes, first
destruction of the Enterprise. Fantastic. All right. Moving on to our next movie. Number 6 is Star Trek 4, The Voyage Home.
Avoid the planet Earth at all costs. We are under the attack of an orbiting probe.
Notify all stations. Starfleet emergency, red alert.
Earth is on the edge of destruction.
We cannot survive unless a way can be found to respond to the probe.
The key to saving the future.
Spock, you're talking about the end of every life on Earth.
Can be found only in the past.
We're going to attempt time travel. Sulu, take us home.
These are the voyages of the crew of the Starship Enterprise.
Judging by the pollution content of the atmosphere, I believe we have arrived at the latter half of the 20th century.
Stardate 1986.
San Francisco. Our own world is waiting for us to save it.
They have 24 hours.
Everybody remember where we parked. Break up.
To complete their mission.
It looked like a cadet review.
We will beam in tonight, collect the photons, and beam out.
I want you all to be very careful.
Without being discovered.
We have an intruder.
All right, who are you?
You're not exactly catching us at our best.
That much is certain.
Yeah.
Now, this is one of my favorite movies because it's actually one of the funniest. It probably is the funniest Star Trek movie out of the whole lot.
Mm-hmm.
It's got some really good moments with Chekhov on Earth, Kirk on Earth. Well, because they come to
nuclear
Earth.
vessels.
Yeah, nuclear vessels. Fantastic. So it's the second movie in the Star Trek franchise directed by Leonard Nimoy.
Mm-hmm.
And he did a really good job with this. It was co-written by Leonard Nimoy and Harve Bennett. they co-wrote it together.
Okay.
So he wrote the story as well as directing, and really good job. Really funny, and it's actually the end of that trilogy, the Khan Death of Spock trilogy.
Yeah, that's right, because they're pretty much bang, bang, bang after each other.
So that's when the movies were coming out every 2 years. So, that's our number 6.
Cool. Number 5, Star Trek. This is the last of the original cast. Star Trek 6, The Undiscovered Country.
The Klingon Empire has 50 years of life left to it.
To offer Klingons a safe haven within Federation space is suicide.
They're animals.
Jim, they are dying.
And you, Captain Kirk, are to be our first olive branch.
Me?
The galaxy stands at a crossroads.
This is the Starship Enterprise. We've been ordered to escort you to your meeting on Earth.
Guess who's coming to dinner?
I have so wanted to meet you, Captain. One warrior to another.
Right.
On the verge of peace.
The undiscovered country. The future.
On the brink of war.
We come in peace, and you blatantly defy that.
We haven't fired.
According to our databanks we have.
I shall blow you out of the stars.
Now, the crew of the Starship Enterprise
will not be the instigators of full-scale war on the eve of universal.
Now, I really like this movie. This is certainly one of my favorites of the original cast. But it harks back to that sort of the battles of the destroyer and the submarine type thing, where General Kang, I think it was the name, played by Christopher
Plummer.
Plummer, he's spouting Shakespeare. He's like, to be, and then at the end where they figure out how to track him, and they do some surgery on a photon torpedo, and then it's sort of tracking around, and he watches it and he knows he's going to get caught, to be or not to be, and it blows up. It's great. It's good. It's a good movie, and you get to the time you spend with Kirk and Bones together on Rua Pinte. It's really cool.
Yeah, it is. There's some really good parts of this, and it's one of those whodunits. Because you have to find out who is the person that's setting up Kirk. I really enjoyed this movie. This was not directed by William Shatner after number 5.
I can't remember who did.
They never let him close to the camera after that.
Yeah.
After Star Trek 5.
Yeah.
But
one of the best beginnings of a Star Trek movie too, I thought, with you see George Takei, Sulu.
Yeah.
You see Sulu captaining the
Excelsior.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Right. Okay. That was most enjoyable and a fitting end. To the original cast.
Yeah. The Enterprise, crew of the Enterprise, bringing peace to the galaxy.
Yeah. This was all thanks to them.
Okay. Oh no, you're doing.
Yeah. Star Trek. Our number 4 is Star Trek Beyond.
Is that music?
It's a good choice.
Hey, well played.
We got no ship. No crew. How are we gonna get out of this one?
We will find hope in the impossible.
Well, at least I won't die alone.
Well, that's just typical.
This movie came out this year.
Yeah.
It actually hasn't done that well at the box office.
Yeah, it's made a bit of money, but probably not what they were expecting.
Yeah.
Because the first two made bank.
They made a lot of money. The second one made quite a bit.
I think they're both around 700 million.
Yeah. So this is a most enjoyable movie, and this is Star Trek as it's meant to be, out in space, exploring pretty much by themselves they have the help of, you know, a space station out in the middle of nowhere.
Mm.
But this is what Star Trek is actually meant to be about. Just exploring the galaxy, finding all these new aliens. And this one, it's quite a sad story. The people that they encounter end up being ex-Federation personnel who have kind of gotten warped by this technology that allows them to live for long periods. So, but it's got some great moments by New Zealand's Carl Urban, and him interacting with Spock certainly harks back to the original series. He did a great job with Zachary Quinto in that movie, and of course Captain Kirk gets to do his thing as well. It ticks all the boxes. It's got some really great action scenes. A really enjoyable movie. The best thing about this movie is that it doesn't have those irritating science quirky things that just, you know, help solve all problems.
Yeah.
This is just straight up, just a good story. Yeah.
Yep. Absolutely.
Okay.
Number 3, Star Trek. This is the 2009 Star Trek.
Your father was captain of a starship for 12 minutes. He saved 800 lives, including yours. I dare you to do better. Enlist in Starfleet.
You will experience fear. Fear in the face of certain death.
Pull your chute!
We received a distress call.
I've been waiting for this day my whole life. This day of reckoning.
We've got no captain and no first officer to replace him.
Yeah, we do.
So this is the reboot, or it's kind of a reboot, isn't it?
Yeah.
So with the new cast, who did a great job, really appreciated their interpretations of those characters. They weren't trying to copy them, although there was enough flavour of the originals that you felt that they were them. So it was really good. There were things about it that I personally didn't like, but if somebody said this is probably the best of the 3, I wouldn't argue with that. It was nice to have Spock come into that, and those you know, and him providing some of that information. Or what do you call it? There's a term for that, but you know, providing that sort of plot line anyway. The screen flares are a bit off-putting.
Yeah, old J.J. Abrams really got into his screen flares. Luckily, by the time he did Force Awakens, he had gotten rid of that rubbish.
Yeah, he did say he got carried away.
But he did certainly enjoy it. But J.J. Abrams, I think he really revitalized that whole
he did,
series.
And he picked it up a bit too. It did need to be more of an action adventure type thing.
Because it basically became, you know, Star Trek was more your thinker's science fiction. Star Wars was your action science fiction.
Yeah.
So this kind of took it more towards Star Wars.
Yeah. Quite frankly, if you want it on the big screen, it has to get money, because these types of movies cost so much to make. That you have to be able, it has to have a draw to the audience.
And it's got a pop, and you know that's what those big action sequences are. I think Chris Pine did a great job as the fatherless Kirk, as opposed to the original Kirk, who still had his dad, and
there was still those Kirkisms, but there was a difference to him as well.
It looked like he was,
and I thought he played that balance really well.
Really well. So Gavin actually had that lower, but I negotiated it up. I like that movie. It's a good movie. All right, so number 2. Okay, this was pretty hard, but I guess in the end, not that hard. Star Trek, First Contact.
In his nightmares, he can see them. In his mind, he can hear them.
Locutus.
In his soul, he can feel them.
I've just received a report from Deep Space 5. Long-range sensors have picked up...
Yes, I know. The Borg. Set a course for Earth. Maximum warp.
Now, in Earth's darkest hour, he must fight them again.
Captain, Earth. Life signs?
Population approximately 9 billion. All Borg.
How?
Time travel. They went back and assimilated Earth. Changed history. I must follow them back. Repair whatever damage they've done.
But this time, they must travel to the past.
April 4th, 2063.
To save our future.
You're all astronauts on some kind of Star Trek. They invade our space, and we fall back. They assimilate entire worlds, and we fall back. Not again. The line must be drawn here.
It is Premier Contact. That's interesting.
It must have been, I didn't sort of read it. I just knew it was First Contact. It must be what it was called in another country.
Could be. So, First Contact was the big screen debut of the Borg.
Yeah.
Now, the Borg are definitely one of the best bad guys throughout the group of bad guys throughout the galaxy. In my opinion, in terms of science fiction, they're right up there with aliens. They're pretty fearsome. They seem to be unstoppable. They work together as a team, a hive mind. So they're tough to beat. And to see them on the big screen and to meet the Borg Queen for the first time, great stuff. Great stuff. And of course, there was the introduction battle where the Enterprise sort of was asked to stay away from the initial fight when the Borg come and attack Earth, and then the Enterprise goes in and basically just cleans up. Fantastic fights, good special effects. You don't see enough of those fights in Star Trek because they just don't have the budget. This is William Frakes, his first big screen Star Trek movie, and he did a fantastic job. He knows characters, and he had a good script, a really awesome bad guy, bad group of guys, and every sort of thing that would scare you about the Borg, he included, like the darkened room, and then the Federation guys are shooting, and then you just see lights coming out, and you just see all these Borg coming towards them. Oh, it's fantastic stuff.
Well, yeah, and another thing I really liked about this movie was that, this perfect Federation where they can do nothing wrong. There were chinks in the armour in this movie. Yeah. Where Picard, the all-knowing, infallible person, he was Ahab,
he was.
Very much following that Moby Dick sort of storyline.
He was, and they definitely referenced that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So Alfie Woodward, she's in there. So this was one of my favorite Star Trek movies. In fact, it was my favorite Star Trek movie. But then when I look back and take a look at all of them, there can only be one movie that's better, and that's
absolutely.
Gone.
Yeah. So, Star Trek 2.
Beyond the darkness, beyond the human evolution, is Khan, a genetically superior tyrant. Exiled to a barren planet, banished by a starship commander he is destined to destroy. Left for dead, he has survived.
I'll chase him round the moon rings of Nibia and round the Antares maelstrom and round perdition's flames before I give him up. There she is. There she is.
Shield's collapsing, Captain.
Can you evade their power? A few shots, sir. Not enough against their shields.
The base is starboard.
Scotty, I need warp speed in 3 minutes or we're all dead. I've done far worse than kill you. I've hurt you. And I wish to go on hurting you. I shall leave you as you left me, marooned for all eternity, buried alive, buried alive. Sean! Sean!
At the end of the universe lies the beginning of vengeance. Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan.
They got it right on the second one, and it was great. And how old is Ricardo Montalban in this movie? Damn, that boy's pumped.
Yeah, I reckon. I mean, when he was Mr. Rourke in Fantasy Island, he looked all pristine, but then on this one, he's got some serious bulk.
Yeah,
he's a pretty muscular guy.
Yeah.
And fantastic to see him back from the TV series.
Yeah,
the original Khan comes back, and then when I saw this, it was like, oh yeah, the movie and the TV series just joined together because it's just a perfect flow from the TV series into the movie.
Yeah, it's a great blend of action and science fiction too, because you got the Genesis device, and what that is, and that becomes the catalyst for these two groups getting together again and fighting off. And yeah, it's a brilliant movie. It's interesting that one of probably the best bad guy in any Star Trek movie, they're never actually face to face with each other.
That's absolutely true. Not in this movie.
Not in this one.
Yeah,
No.
in the TV series, obviously they did, but because they were always in different ships, they were always in different places.
Yeah.
They were talking to one another across, like radio subspace sort of thing. Wow, but I mean, it's got such iconic moments. It's got the classic "Gone" when Kirk pretends to be trapped. You've got the ultimate sacrifice. The words, right up there with "May the Force be with you," is the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few, or the one.
Yeah, you have been and will always be, my friend.
Oh,
and
don't do that! I'm going to start crying.
Oh no, well, but it's really cool. So in the last moments of Spock's life, he is allowed to show a bit of emotion. Yeah. And it's cool.
So
and it makes that so more impactful too. Yeah.
So it's got some classic moments. It's got right before the piece that Kevin's talking about. It's got the Great Escape, and it's not one of those Deus Ex Machina escapes where they just pull something out of their butts. There's actually a real scientific thing. He fixes the engine. He has to sacrifice his own life. Mm-hmm. So he solves the problem, but at a great cost.
Yeah,
and it's so emotional. It really brings a tear to the eye. This is definitely Star Trek's Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah, great movie.
Yeah. So, I mean, that movie came out in the early 80s.
82, maybe?
Yeah, 82. So it's a pretty old movie, but you know what? They had the special effects for it. They had the right cast. It was Star Trek's moment to shine, and in my opinion, the best Star Trek movie.
Yeah, I don't think there's a question about that. Yeah. I think this will be number one on everyone's list. Yeah.
Certainly was Ricardo Montalban. You're fantastic.
So that's us. Best to worst Star Trek movies. Awesome.
Yeah. Well, I hope you enjoyed that. If you agree, then please say so. If you don't agree, I want to see your list. Where do you put the 13 movies that we just mentioned? Gavin, any last words?
Yes, if you have The Final Frontier as number one, just jump off a bridge.
You do not deserve to live. Yeah, well, I want to thank everyone for watching this. Our first BrosKnow Countdown.
Yep.
And I hope to see you back next time.
Catch you later.
Peace.